Congratulations on making a great investment in your health, and thank you for purchasing your brand new Jupiter Science Venus Water Ionizer. And thank you also for taking the time to watch this short installation and maintenance video. It will really make it easy for you to understand and use your ionizer. In the video, we'll show you how to install your ionizer, how to operate and use your ionizer, and really importantly, how to maintain and protect your investment in your ionizer. So we'll start with a tour of what comes inside the box. Let's get started. We'll start by opening the box. You'll notice at the top you have two styrofoam packagings and a reagent kit and a diverter installation kit. We'll go over the contents of those later. Begin by laying the box down and sliding the styrofoam packaging out with the ionizer. Remove the styrofoam packaging, and you'll notice that there's an installation bag with hoses and a warranty card and the great manual. If you have any questions after watching this video, refer to the great troubleshooting section in the manual. Next, you'll notice that the ionizer comes wrapped in a plastic bag. We'll remove the bag. It's important to note that there may be a strong plastic smell as the ionizer is sealed instantly at the factory when it's made. It'll only take about a day for that smell to dissipate. Now save the packaging in case you ever need to transport your ionizer. So save the bag and the two styrofoam pieces. Next, let's go over the contents that came in the box. First, you have your flexible alkaline drinking water spout. Next, you have your installation and diverter kit, which includes the diverter, which will attach to your tap. And then a second bag inside that contains the adapters in case your diverter doesn't attach directly to the tap, a couple of O-rings, some mounting screws, and a little plastic 90-degree elbow. Next, you have a bag containing the reagent kit and a spare fuse. The reagent kit contains a receptacle to test your pH in, the reagent drops themselves, and two pH color charts. Next, let's take a quick tour of the features of your new Venus Ionizer. This is the control panel. These are the three buttons, touch control buttons, that you'll use to control the function of your ionizer. And this is the panel that will show you what function your ionizer is performing at the time, starting with the level and the different icons. This little icon shows you when the machine is cleaning, and this one alerts you when your ionizer needs service. This is a great feature. It allows you to turn the sound on or off on your Venus Ionizer. And this is the filter life indicator, indicating how much filter life you have left. Down here we have the flow control valve, which allows you to fine-tune the performance of your machine. Moving to the top, we have the alkaline water port where we're going to screw in the flexible alkaline drinking water spout. On the back of the machine, you've got the on-off switch, the fuse holder, two keyhole slots for mounting the machine on the wall if you care to, and on the bottom you've got the tap water inlet in blue and the acid water outlet in red. The outlets are actually on the bottom. Here's the port for the tap water inlet and the port for the acid water outlet. And of course, then you have your power cord. Also on the front of the machine, I'm tracing the outline with my finger of the filter housing door. This is where the filter goes in the machine and where you'll need to open this when it's time to replace your filter. We'll begin the installation process by installing the diverter to the end of your tap. The first thing is to remove the aerator from the end of the faucet. The aerator should be finger tight. If it's not, you can use a pair of pliers to loosen it up and then remove it the rest of the way. The diverter sometimes will screw right into the end of the faucet, but in this case you can see that we'll need an adapter. So we'll take one of the adapters until we find the right one. And then we'll just simply screw it in. Again, making sure it's hand tight. It's a good idea to use a napkin or a small towel to tighten the adapter because those threads are actually quite sharp and can cut your fingers. Then we'll simply screw the diverter into the adapter. And again, hand tight is usually good enough. If you find you have leaks, you can, at any good hardware store, pick up for about $1 a roll of Teflon plumber's tape and use a couple of wraps of the Teflon plumber's tape around the threads, and that will stop just about any leak. Next, we'll install the white tap water inlet port or hose to the diverter. We'll begin by removing the compression nut at the end of the diverter and threading it on to the end of the tap water inlet hose with the threads facing out so it can be reattached. Then we'll push the white tap water inlet hose onto the diverter valve and reattach the compression nut by screwing the threads down. It may be pretty tight, so you may have to use a pair of pliers. Be careful not to over tighten it. If you have trouble attaching the white tap water inlet or the gray acid water inlet to any of the ports, simply soak the end for a minute in a cup of warm water, and that'll make it easy to attach. Next, you'll want to make sure that the ionizer is positioned properly by your kitchen sink. You'll want it close to the sink, but in a convenient place as well. And you can trim the hoses just using a pair of simple kitchen scissors to make sure the hoses are the appropriate length. It's that simple. Next, we'll install the tap water inlet port to the bottom of the ionizer. We'll begin by tipping the ionizer onto its back, and you can notice I've laid down a towel to protect the back of the ionizer. There are two fittings on the back. The gray swivel one is a quick release fitting, and we'll begin by simply pushing the end of the white hose into the port, bracing it with your fingers. You'll know it's properly installed by giving it a tug, and if you can't pull the hose out, then it's properly installed. Next, we'll install the gray water acid outlet. We'll begin by taking one of the brass compression clamps and sliding it over the end of the acid water tube, and then again bracing the port with your free hand, slide the acid water outlet over the port, and finish by fixing the compression clamp over the end of the port to prevent leaks. Last, we'll take the flexible alkaline drinking water spout and attach it by removing the black cap and then simply threading it in to the threaded alkaline water port. And hand tight, make sure you don't over tighten this. Hand tight is good enough. And now we're ready to learn how to use the machine. Next, we'll power the ionizer up. We'll begin by plugging the power cord into an appropriate outlet and then simply turning the on-off switch into the on position. You'll hear a small chime sound, and then you'll know the ionizer is powered up. Now we'll learn how to use and operate the ionizer. The first thing we'll do is learn how to use the diverter. The diverter acts just like a faucet with an on-off valve. So we'll turn the water to a nice easy flow and then simply twist the diverter valve, and that diverts the water through the hose to the ionizer. Next, we'll learn how to control the function of your ionizer and choose the different levels of production. First, we'll begin by turning the water on and diverting the water to the ionizer. You'll notice nothing's coming out yet. We'll go to the flow control valve and turn it about halfway between the off and the on position to create a nice easy flow. You'll notice that the machine comes on and tells you what level of production is selected. To change the level of alkalinity, you simply touch the alkaline button.
Level 2 alkaline water selected.
And you'll have a voice confirmation and a numeric display telling you what level is selected. And to cycle through, you simply just touch the alkaline button again.
Level 3 alkaline water selected.
To select acidic water, it's the same. You simply touch the acidic button.
Level 3 acidic water selected.
You'll get the voice confirmation, and then to move through the different levels, simply touch the acidic water again.
Selected.
To get filtered water, simply touch the filtered button.
Filtered water selected.
And once again, it will confirm that you have filtered water selected. Your Venus ionizer has an automatic cleaning cycle. Every 20 liters of alkaline water out of the alkaline spout, it will automatically go into a 10-second cleaning cycle. That will be indicated on the control panel with this icon being lit up. As you can see right now, the icon is not lit, so it's not in cleaning cycle. Now you'll see that the icon is lit, indicating that it's in cleaning mode and the alkaline is disabled. When the cleaning's finished, the cleaning icon will flip off and the alkaline mode will be enabled again. This is the melody button. You can control the voice confirmation by depressing this button. Now that we have the ionizer properly set up and positioned, the last thing to do is remove the thin plastic covering that protects the LCD. Sometimes it's hard to get that off, and it's good to use a little sharp knife to peel the corner up. Once you get the corner peeled up, it comes right off. Before we begin to pH color test, there are a few things I want to say about performance in drinking the water. Number one, water quality varies wildly around the country. Some places have hard water, that's water with more minerals, and some places have soft water, that's water with little or near no minerals, and that impacts the performance of an ionizer. The more minerals you have, the higher ranges of performance your ionizer will achieve, and vice versa. The lower minerals you have, or the softer water you have, the lower performance your machine will achieve. So as we test the colors, you can't expect the exact same colors in your locality. So bear that in mind as you do your own tests at home. Next, drinking the water, it's very important to start at a level 1. Stay at level 1 for 4 to 7 days to give your body a chance to adjust. Then you can move to level 2 and repeat it again. Stay at level 2 for 4 to 7 days, giving your body a chance to adjust. Then you can sample the higher levels 3 and 4. There's no wisdom that says drinking a higher level of alkalinity is better for you. Listen to the wisdom of your body. It will tell you what you like. Next, we'll learn how to test for pH at the different levels of setting on the ionizer. So your ionizer comes with a pH reagent test kit, which includes 2 different pH color charts and a fuse. Keep the fuse handy where you will be able to find it in case you need it. The other color chart is in the receptacle that we'll test the pH with, and is actually an adhesive back sticker that you can use to put anywhere on the ionizer you like. We'll start by testing the local tap water. So we'll turn the faucet on, put a small amount of water into the beaker, add a couple of drops, shake it up, and compare it to our color chart. So you can see that's kind of a greenish blue, probably just a little bit over a pH 7. Next, we'll test the different settings on the machine. We'll turn the water on, we'll divert the water to the machine, we'll turn the flow control valve to about 2/3 to produce a nice easy flow.
Alkaline water selected.
We'll add a couple of drops. And now you can see that the water's a nice blue. So we'll move to the next alkaline setting.
Alkaline water selected.
Add a few drops. And now we've got a darker blue, getting closer to a almost purple color. We'll move to the next setting.
Alkaline water selected.
Add a few drops, and you can see now we're getting up into the purple range. And finally, we'll test on a 4.
Water selected.
And you can see that's a nice solid purple. Changing the filter on your new Venus is easy. We'll begin by removing the filter housing cover by depressing the plastic ridges on the edge of the housing door and removing the door. The filter housing is actually spring-loaded, so put your fingers at the top of the filter and press down easily and remove the filter. Installing the new filter is just as simple as reversing the process. Align the filter at the base, press in, and then give it a couple of little shakes to make sure that it's aligned properly. Next, we'll reset the filter life indicator by turning the unit on
Training in progress.
and holding the reset button down until the filter indicator resets.
Training in progress.
Last, we'll reinstall the filter housing door by lining up the 3 plastic prongs into the slots and simply snapping it back into place. If your Venus ever won't power up, there are some simple things that you want to check. First, you want to check to make sure that the outlet that the ionizer is plugged into is actually receiving power. So you can do that by just switching plugs or outlets. Another way to do it would be to plug a small kitchen appliance into the outlet that you know works and test it to make sure that the outlet's actually getting power. If the outlet is getting power, the next thing you would want to check is to make sure that the power switch is on in the back. If the outlet is good and the power switch is on, the last thing you want to try looking at is the fuse. So the first thing you'll do is turn the power off, unplug the ionizer, and then check the fuse. The fuse holder simply is threaded and unscrews. Check the fuse to make it sure that it's good. If it's bad, simply take the replacement, put it into the fuse holder, rethread it. Then you can plug your ionizer back in and power it back on. If you have further questions, you can always watch this DVD again, or I suggest that you refer to the excellent owner's manual that comes with your ionizer. In it, there's a fantastic troubleshooting guide. And lastly, if you're in a soft water area of the country with low mineralization and you're not able to achieve the higher levels of pH, a dark purple with using the reagent test kit, there's a section in the manual on page 17 and 18 that describes how to further adjust the voltage settings to your ionizer. Most places in the country you won't even have to consider that. I'd like to summarize some major points. The first point is that water quality around the country varies greatly, and that will impact the performance of your ionizer. Typically, the harder the water you have, the more minerals you have in your water, the greater performance ranges your ionizer will achieve. With the softer waters, or less minerals in your water, the lower levels of performance your ionizer will achieve. So pay attention to your local water quality. It will have a great impact on the quality of the water your ionizer produces. Secondly, start at the lowest level setting, a level 1, when you start drinking the water. Give your body 4 to 7 days to adjust until you feel good, and then move to the next highest level. If you start to experience any kind of discomfort, go back to a level 1. In the end, there's no magic over what level a person should drink. It's all individual. Listen to the wisdom of your body. It will tell you what it likes. Lastly, if you have any further questions, watch this DVD again or refer to the excellent owner's manual and the troubleshooting guide in the back. Once again, congratulations on your investment in health and happy hydrating.